welcome back to our channel. So we'll be continuing our learning of OpenCV. For the past few videos, we'll be learning about OpenCV and carrying out few simple projects with OpenCV. I think the last project was an interactive window where we could draw different shapes on images that we got locally. So today we'll be looking at a more practical project, something that could be more useful. We're looking at a barcode attendance system, right? Of course, you could use your barcode, your phone, and your barcode to it will determine if you it will know who you are, to check who the person is, and then determine if such a person is authorized to do something or to enter somewhere or whatever, or not authorized. And it should also give a log of people it has authorized and what time it has authorized, the people it has authorized, not just people, number of the people it has authorized, and the time that it did the authorization. So first of all, let's look at let's look at the demo. Let's look at how what you want to create, how it looks like. So this is basically what the app will be doing. So I have some QR codes here on my phone. So you can see this is empty granted. If you notice, it has spotted the QR code which is rendered with green, and then it checked if this is in the log or not. Among in the attendance, right? Among the list of authorized entry, then of those authorized or whatever it needs to authorize it for. Let me use another one. I have another QR code here. So this is authorization denied. I have another one here, which is authorization denied, and I have another one here, which is entry granted. All right, so that is what we are going to do in this tutorial. So all right, how we're going to do this, let's quickly get into the code. So how will we do it? First of all, there are two things you notice. Unlike the other ones, we're using pictures which we got locally. Here we'll be getting image from the webcam. So once we get the image from the webcam, it should detect a barcode. For example, when I carried my phone and you looked at the screen, you could see my face, you could see the phone, and you could also see what was on the phone. And sometimes it may not just be that barcode, maybe other text on that phone. So we want it to detect the barcode from whatever picture is shown to it, then also detect what is in the barcode. That is what you did not see here. So we should be able to write that. That should be going on at the background. You should be able to read the barcode and detect what is in the barcode, and then compare it with the authorized list at the back end that already been given, and then of course the aesthetics designs, the designs around that. If it is we have if the entry has been denied or the entry has been granted. All right, so let's go to our IDE and start coding. So this is our IDE. So I'm going to create a folder. First thing I'll do, let's just create a folder. Let's just call it barcode. All right, let's create a folder and call it barcode attendance. I hope my system no. All right, so inside this folder we are going to create a file. We just call our main for our Python, whatever we are going to code. So this is where we are going to write our codes, but we also want to create a log a users file which will give us the list of the people that will be allowed, that the barcode be allowed. So let's create that too. So I just create this. Let me just call it users. All right. So I'll just put 3 names here. My name, then John Doe, and then Rose Solomon. So just have 3 days. All right, that has been done. So let's just create an empty log file just to capture the logs. This is probably the time and who was allowed into the room. Okay, beautiful. So this is just empty. So let's quickly go into our code. So there are steps we are going to take. I had explained earlier that first of all we want to import. Let's just import our necessary libraries first. So what are the basic libraries we import? First of all, of course, we know that we are going to import our OpenCV, right? Our CV2. All right, then we'll import what we'll use to decode the barcode. There's a very nice library which we call Py. Yeah, this is a Python library for decoding barcodes. So I'm going to use it, right? So from here, import the code because you can also use it to encode. All right. So that being said, of course, let's just import numpy. Probably we use it, probably we don't. And then since we are checking, and we'll check the time that whoever is entering the venue or the class or whatever, it's going to log that time. So it will be right to just import date time. All right. So the next thing we'll do will be for us to um, make some initializations. Now we need to initialize entry list. Remember, these are just empty. The users txt are just txt files, and the log txt is just here. So we need to be able to read it. So we'll read it into a list. So we'll have users originally empty, then we'll read into that list. Then we also have logs, which were originally empty. Of course, I've told you what this will be used for. This will be used to log the detections, and this will be used. This is just a guide for us to check. All right. So now, what's the next thing we'll do? We want to open this and then copy whatever is here, right, to users, so that we don't have to open it every time. So we just copy it there and it will be stored there. So the next thing we'll do is to what? To so what are we going to do that? We have that with open. We know how to use a Python to open files. You should be used to this .txt. Read, right, as f. You read them line by line. So users is equal to All right. Why I put this was so that it will ignore empty spaces, right? And if there are any, so it will just ignore empty spaces. So it's going to go to every 3 line and read everything, basically read everything. So for this down to this, okay. So then of course this is just housekeeping. um but note that this itself is not really, let me just remove it, it's not necessary, because now as long as you do this right, um it automatically closes it for you, right? It automatically closes it for you. So let me just remove this, and then we have this. So now the next thing we'll do will be something I want to show you, how to use OpenCV to read web cameras. We're going to use OpenCV to read our web cameras. So do that now. So we're going to have so let's, how do we do that? We have our cap will be CV2. This is how you read from webcam dot video capture. Remember that the other one was can you remember how we got images? You can check the old video. Now what does this do? This video capture is used to capture images from your webcam. Now you may have more than webcam. I just have one now, so it will be labeled 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is going to select which webcam you want to use. So of course you can now read frame. So while true, want it to continue reading continually, keep reading infinitely. So while true, right, I want it to continue reading. Now how does it read? I think there's something must have done, so this is it here, right? So let me just read infinitely. So while true, what does it do? This is how you read. First of all, it will return whether it has found a camera or not. So this can be none, or true or false, right? Can be true or false. Then we also have frames, right, which will tell us, it will take it frame by frame. It's more like, a video is a composition of several pictures. So it goes snap this, continuously. So in each of those frames that we are going to analyze. So we have that the frame will be what? Cap dot read. So this is how you read from your cameras. So now that has been done, you can do whatever you wish to do with this with your frames. You can do whatever you wish to do with your frames. Now I want you to see how this works. So I can say, if I want to share, I'll simply say cv2 dot show, right? So let me just call this my webcam, right? And then this as my friend at a good point in time. So I don't need this. Alright, so that shows you now. Remember what we did the last time? We used wait key just to know when to quit. Alright, so we can say if cv2 dot wait key, this will be very simple. If you had noticed, if we used it before in our, if remember our old video, we use a wait key. How many minutes do you wait before you check again? So they just say 1 millisecond, so it will be very fast. And then why do we do this? We want to know when to check if you've pressed a key that can be used to end the window, or pressed a key that can be used to do something else. So now I want to when do I want to press the window? Remember last time we used ASCII. We use the ASCII to determine to close the window, right? Because we want to use Q. But if you don't remember, you can simply use other Q to tell you when they are going to, when you press the Q, because it takes ASCII. All right, so then to the cap dot release, it closes this, and then what happens next was just conventional housekeeping. cv2 dot destroy all windows. So let me just run this for you to see that it's going to capture us. Does not find, oh, it's called users, not user. No file as users.txt. Wow, is there no file as users? I can find it here. So I don't know why that's happening. Sometimes it can be crazy. Really. Oh, I can know the reason. I think we have to move to that folder. I think user should work now. Let's see. All right, so it's up here. For some reason, I'm running so many things on my system at the same time, so you can see. Hello. All right, so if you click here, this will not work. It will come up again. So we just need to press a Q. I'm about to press a Q on my keyboard, and this closes. So that is how that works. So now that has been taken care of, now we want to we don't just want to do video capture, we also want to capture the QR code. So we've done the video capture. Now we pick each of these frames, right? We pick each of these frames and ask ourselves what is in the frame. So what we do is this frame dot, sorry, so our QR info will be equal to frame dot decode, right? No, it should be decode frame, right? Right, decode frame, because frame doesn't have an attribute decode. I was just crazy to be thinking of that. All right, so that decodes. Of course, you know that this just decodes content of frame. All right, so it checks if there's any QR code there. That's just what it checks. That just takes if there's any QR code there. Then it will tell you all the contents of all the QR codes you can see on that image, right? Even if there's more than one QR code over there. All right. So now what do you do is this may be a list which you see, and then it will check. You want to get the first thing that it sees, because I believe to be there can be more than one QR code, right? So for now, to keep it simple, we just assume that there's one there, so we just take the first that is there. So now our QR info, if there's something, that means there'll be something in that list. If you cannot find anyone, that means there'll be nothing in your QR info list or whatever. So if len QR info, if there's something there, that means there's something there, right? If it is not zero, what do? You now say QR, what is inside there? I want to get what is inside the QR. Sorry, QR info is equal to, we just done like this. Let me just call this QR list and then call this QR list. Let me just call this now QR info. What did he get from the QR list? So the first thing is going to give us the first thing. We want to take the first thing. That's, of course, that's 0. Then we will get the boundary of the QR code, because it's going to store what is in the QR code, and it's going to store the coordinate of the QR. No, QR code is always more like boxes, so it's going to get the coordinate of that QR code. So our rectangle will be equal to QR info, right, dot rect. All right. So it is also possible that it will not be a rectangle. It could also be a polygon, whatever is the case. So let's just keep it here. Polygon is equal to QR info dot polygon. All right. So that being done, what next do we do? Now, what is our secret? Our secret, or the info itself, is QR info dot data. What is inside that QR info is what we are interested in. If you print this out, this is going to tell you what the text or whatever is embedded, whether it is my name, it is Ruth's name, or John Doe's name. So that's basically the secret. Now, the next thing is for us to verify if that secret So we're going to verify if the secret exists in the authorized user list. So if secret dot decode, right, in users, please take note of the things we've done. First of all, we got this from the list. Then we got all the data, right, of this info. Then we now decoded it, right? this was just for the frame. We now decoded this. So if this does decode in, this is now what is going to be the text you are looking at. If this is in users, what happens? We will now display that entry has been granted. Right? All right. We now create a entry has been granted. So let's do that. So cv2 dots. Can you remember last time we looked at how we can put text on the screen? So we simply use cv dot put text. What do we take? The frame, right? Then the word we are going to put, entry granted. Then the coordinates, right? Rect dot. How do I get the coordinate? We have for a QR code for this rectangle, we'll have 4 coordinates. One of them will be the left, we'll have the right, the top, and the bottom. The left, the right, the top, and the bottom. So what I want to do is I want to get the left to give you the left, right? It will also give the top, and it will also give the right, and it also give you the bottom. You could do whatever manipulations you want to do there. So we have rect dot left, and then rect dot top. All right. Then the font, we want it to be large. So we now cv2 dot font. So it is going to think. All right. Let's see. Simplex, this is a very large font which I found to be very interesting. Then the font size, the color, let's make it green. Entry granted should be green. Color is green, red, green, blue. Alright, so we've already covered this in the last video. So we'll simply put that text there. Now, what if it's not locked already? Now, what am I going to put? Remember that there are 2 things we want to do. First of all, we detect and we show the person that okay, we've granted you entry. Then the next thing is also log. For us to log. Now, if you notice that when you take I said that webcams are, or like videos are like images, continuous images. So we want to it will always lock. Check if you want to send it to a lock, it will check the frame. If it sees, it locks. But if you keep holding the camera, it will always be logging. Every time it sees something, it will log in because it's checking frame by frame. Frame by frame means that I may be holding the camera still. It will check the next 1 second. It will check again. The next 1 millisecond. It will check again. 1 millisecond. It will check again. So it will keep throwing locks. So I have to control that by checking if it has been locked already. If your name is there already, you does not need to add your log again so it to not make the log too long, right? So if we have that, I hope you understand what I mean. I don't want it to keep putting people's name once every time they want to enter. The first time you grant entry, it should be recorded there. So if secret dot decode not in locked, right? If it is not locked, then so we're going to use append because we don't know if something is there as f, right? What do? We now write three things. We use write the what it found, the decode, and also the time. The first one will be what did you see, and the next thing will be what the time. Right, so now I want to now this is now this is the time, that's the time. All right, so I think that's that. So I think that's that. That's that for writing. Then of course locked dot append secrets dot decode. So you just put this here. Here, just put it here, right? Remember that we wrote to log.txt. We also have to add it here. Okay, so that's very simple and done. So what next do we have to do? I think what next we have to do now? There are two conditions. It has this is here, this is here, or this is not here. What happens if it has actually found something, but what it found is not in the not in the list? That's it. What you are looking at is an unauthorized user. What do we do in such scenarios? So else, right? So if it's not there, how do you handle such a situation? So we have cv dot text, right? So we have, of course, we have frame, just the same thing. We just put it there, but authorization, just make it capital and bold. Authorization denied. Basically the same thing. Rect.let, rect.top. And then just copy the whole of this, but the only problem is that this will now be red instead of green, to now be red instead of green. Or let's just make it blue to make it different. or we can just make it green to show that it has identified it. Or let's just make it different. Okay, just to make it different. Then what do we do now? Right, we put the frame. Then the next thing we want to draw, now that we've put the frame there, we want to draw a rectangle around the QR code to show that it has detected the QR code. Right, just want to draw a rectangle around the QR code to show that it has detected the QR code, just for aesthetics. So frame is equal to cv2 dot rectangle. Because I hope you know why we're drawing the rectangle around the QR code, to just to show that it has detected a QR code. It will draw the rectangle whether you have been denied, to draw a rectangle whether you are granted. But you just want to also show that yes, it has actually detected a QR code. It helps us to troubleshoot, because you can hold it may be possible for you to be accepted, but you don't know. It does not see the QR code. So it's just for us to know where the problem is, if you are not allowed in, or if you are allowed in or not. So of course, the same thing as we've always been doing. We put the frame, and then we have rect dot left and rect dot top. Our lives around the QR code. Rect dot top. Then we have rect dot left plus rect dot width, the width of the rectangle. Right, where does your left start from, and where does this end? Then we have rect dot top plus rect dot height. All right, why? Because this is the top, and this is the top left, and this is the bottom left, and the bottom right. I mean, how do you get the bottom right? It's just by the length plus the width of the rectangle. And then how do you get the bottom right? Is just the top plus the height of the rectangle. All right, so that can be gotten from this here. All right, so you could explore what this gives, and then you see what I mean. So what is left there is just the normal aesthetics. So we have a color, so we'll make it red. So 0.0255, we make it red 255, and then thickness. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so that being done, the next thing is we want to also draw a green polygon around the QR code for just for visual clarity. It's not so important, just around it for more visual clarity, in case it's not very such a rectangle like that. So we have that frame is equal to cv2 dot polygon. So polylines, and that's how we draw polylines. So this is actually where we use our numpy array. We have np dot array polygon, right? Yeah, correct. Then true. Just parameter used with polylines just to show or not, then 0, and this, it will be green. You're going to see it when we implement it, and then we have 0, then of course the same thickness before. Right, that be done. That's everything we did. That's everything we did. Of course, this shows it shows us what we need to see, and then when we press Q, it breaks. So it's when we press Q here, it breaks, and then it stops here, and then we destroy all the windows. So let's quickly run this. Hopefully, it does not give us error. So we have this here. All right. So we have entry granted. The problem is the text type. You can see entry granted. We have this as entry denied. Entry denied. If you look at it carefully, you see that it is entry denied. Authorization denied. So there's something I don't like. The. I'll just press Q. I don't like the type of. So I don't like it. The font type. So this is for Henshi script simplex. So let's just get for simplex, and then let's just get this simplex. Don't like this font type. So let's just run it again. Alright, so we have this entry granted, and then authorization denied, and then you have this as authorization denied, and then you have this as entry granted. Alright, so that's just very simple project, and that is how we could create a very simple barcode detector for attendance system using open CVD. Of course, there are other methods you could use, but this is basically one of the simplest. So if you have anything you don't understand, don't fail to leave it in the chat box, and we will see in our next video. Thank you very much.